How did the Thracians interact with the Greeks and Romans? If you're curious about the ancient world and how different cultures interacted, you might be wondering how the Thracians, a people from the Balkans, got along with the Greeks and Romans. Let's take a closer look at their relationships. The Thracians had a complex and often misunderstood history, especially through the eyes of the Greeks and Romans. Despite being labeled as barbarians and warlike, the Thracians had a rich culture that included sophisticated poetry and music. When it comes to the Greeks, the Thracians were first mentioned in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. These works describe the Thracians as skilled warriors, particularly during the Trojan War. The Greeks saw the Thracians as tall, rugged, and having distinct physical features like blue or gray eyes and fair hair, which set them apart from the Greeks themselves. The Thracians and Greeks had significant trade and cultural exchanges. During the 5th and 4th centuries BC, the Thracians began to settle near the Aegean coast, leading to increased interactions with the Greeks. This period saw the exchange of goods, ideas, and even art, with Thracian burial mounds containing jewelry and armor fashioned in Greek workshops. However, the relationship was not always smooth. The Greeks often viewed the Thracians with a mix of fear and superiority. Thracians were commonly depicted as servants or soldiers in Greek society, and their customs and practices were seen as primitive and uncivilized. For example, Greek playwright Aristophanes poked fun at Thracian marriage customs in his plays. Moving on to the Romans, the Thracians' interactions were marked by conquest and integration. The Romans gradually incorporated Thrace into their empire from the mid-2nd century BC. Despite Romanization, rural Thracians managed to retain their indigenous culture and language for a long time. The Thracians played a significant role in Roman military campaigns, including the famous rebellion led by Spartacus, a Thracian gladiator. Spartacus's revolt posed a major challenge to Roman authority, but it ultimately ended in defeat, with the crucifixion of 6,000 surviving rebels along the Appian Way. The Romans also utilized Thracians as mercenaries and slaves, often forcing them to fight as gladiators. However, the Thracians were not just subjects, they also contributed to Roman culture. As the Roman Empire expanded, the Thracians adopted Christianity, leading to the construction of numerous churches in the region. In terms of politics, the Thracians experienced periods of independence and subjugation. After Alexander the Great's death, the Thracians regained independence under Seuthes III, but this was short-lived. They eventually became a client state of the Roman Republic and later a Roman province in 46 AD. The Thracians' cultural interactions with both the Greeks and Romans were multifaceted. They borrowed influences from these cultures, especially in art and politics, while also maintaining their unique identity. Despite the negative portrayals by their contemporaries, the Thracians left a lasting impact on the cultural mosaic of the Balkans and the Eastern Mediterranean.